Hello Booktube, this is Linda Jo Martin, the Book Lady, and I am doing my February TBR video. So this month I am reading To All the Boys I've Loved Before. So this is a YA book full of teenage angst. The girl's trying to decide who's going to be her boyfriend, I guess, and of course the one that she's really crazy about isn't available to her, or so she thinks. So lots of angst, but it's an interesting book. I kind of like the plot to it. I didn't choose this book. I'm kind of grown out of YA, and I am reading the book because it was chosen by the Ultimate PopSugar Reading Challenge group over at Goodreads. And I'm reading along with their choices as much as I can, hoping to diversify my reading habits this year, and hopefully even finish the challenge, the PopSugar Reading Challenge, for the first time ever. This is like my 4th year doing it, but I've never actually finished before, and so I'm really rushing through the books this year and hoping for better results soon. And so there's 50 books on the list. And this month they wanted to read a book with love in the title, and this is it. So after I get done with that, I am probably going to go next to, I have the book, let me show it to you. Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe, an African author, and since I made my last video and mentioned this book, I have found out some things about him. I read the Wikipedia page. So he is an author living in Africa. He's a Nigerian. This particular book was originally published in 1958. It is called a classic by many people, and it is the first book in a trilogy. Mr. Achebe actually went to college in Nigeria and studied English literature there. And then he wrote all his books, his novels, in English. So this is not a translation. It was originally written in English by a Nigerian man. I'm going to go on to Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. I found out Lisa Wingate is a Christian novelist. However, this is not an overtly Christian book so far as I can tell. I haven't read it yet. Maybe I'll know more later, but this is a very popular book that I think has been on the New York bestseller list, and it's about children that were taken away from their parents unfairly and adopted out through Georgia Tan. A lot of people know that name. Of course, it's still going on today, but other names, other people, and anyhow, that's my second choice. And if you want to find out why I chose to read that book, please go to my webpage over at lindajomartin.com, where I explain it quite a bit. So hold on, I'm getting my webpage up again to remind myself what I'm going to read after that. And it's going to be The Great Alone by Kristen Hannah. This is a book about a family, I believe, that goes to Alaska. I just finished reading one of her other books. I read The Nightingale, and it was really good, so I am expecting this to be a wonderful reading experience. And after that, or maybe concurrently, I am going to be reading Jesus the King by Timothy Keller. I have never read anything by this author before. I chose this because I was reading the prompts at the PopSugar Reading Challenge, and one of the prompts was to read a book about somebody who has a superpower. And I didn't really want to read about Superman or Batman or Spider-Man or Green Lantern or Wonder Woman or any of those. I mean, it just didn't thrill me. Maybe it's my age, I don't know. And then I remembered Jesus had a superpower, at least one, probably a lot more than we even know about, but he was the greatest healer ever to live on the planet Earth. So I want to read this book about him to fulfill the requirements of that prompt. And I'm looking forward to it. I have it on order right now, and I ordered both the book and the workbook that goes with it. So the next book that I'm reading, and I'm already reading this one, is Folk Art Fusion. I want to read at least one art book each month, and this is one that I already had, but I haven't read it yet. So I'm really looking forward to it. I've read the first 20 pages, and I'm starting to do my first project doing, using her techniques. Some of you may remember my mixed media junk journal that I made last year, and I'm using that for this type of art now. So maybe by the end of the month I'll have something I want to show you. The next book that I'm reading, there's a couple of Christian books. This one is Praying God's Word by Beth Moore. Really looking forward to this. Actually, I read the introduction to it today, so I can say I'm already reading it. And I think that whatever Beth Moore does is just amazing. I've read a couple of her other books, and I went to see her in Spokane with a friend back in 2014 at the big arena in the middle of Spokane. It was quite amazing. And once I start traveling, I'm hoping to go to more of her events in other cities. So the other Christian book I'm reading right now is God's Chosen Fast by Arthur Wallis. It covers mainly the spiritual advantages and issues regarding fasting, and also some of the physical issues as well. So the only other book that I'm reading this month that I know of, I might add others later on if I get through this list soon, and I am reading fast this month because I want to get through the PopSugar Reading Challenge this year. So the only other thing that I'm reading right now is the Bible. I'm reading the Gospel of Matthew. I started it in January. I was really hoping to get through it in January, but I'm reading it in the study Bible, and well, there's a lot of study notes that I'm reading at the same time, so it's kind of slow going. I'm not rushing through it. I never want to rush through the Bible. I want to take it slow and easy and try to understand what it says. And so that's my TBR for the month of January. Now, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I would so appreciate that. And if you like the video, please click on the thumbs up like button, and I would be very appreciative of that as well. So I hope you're having a good reading month, and I plan to do the same. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later. Bye.